Have you ever wondered why the silence of someone you care about can feel louder than a thunderstorm? It's because, at our core, we are social beings wired to connect, share, and feel understood. Yet there's a hard truth. Not everyone will resonate with our frequency. Not everyone will understand our melody. And guess what? That's perfectly okay. Today we're diving deep into the art of letting go, the Stoic way. Stoicism, a philosophy that has weathered the storms of time, teaches us the power of acceptance and the strength found in understanding what is within our control and what lies beyond it. Imagine navigating life's social labyrinth with a compass that points you toward peace of mind, regardless of the stormy weather others may bring. Stick around as we uncover how to harness the wisdom of Stoicism to gracefully accept and move beyond the indifference or rejection we may face. Because in the grand tapestry of life, each thread, no matter how seemingly misplaced, has a role to play in the beauty of the bigger picture. Before we delve into the heart of our exploration, here's a simple favor. If you appreciate what we're doing here, exploring the depths of human interaction with a touch of Stoic wisdom, hit that subscribe button. It's a small gesture that means the world to us. Remember, you're different from the majority. You're someone who sees value in understanding and introspection, so consider yourself an exception. Don't skip any part of this video. Let's embark on this journey together with open minds and hearts. Have you ever reached out, pouring a little bit of your soul into a message, only to get a cool or "K" pinged back? It feels like throwing a ball with all your might, expecting a game of catch, but instead it just drops to the ground with a sad little thud. This is the digital age's version of minimal responses, and let me tell you, it can sting. But here's where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism strides in like a calm sage in the midst of our modern chaos. Stoicism teaches us the value of focusing on what's within our control. The enthusiasm, or lack thereof, in someone's response, well, that's firmly in their court. Stoic philosophy doesn't ask us to suppress our feelings of disappointment or pretend the coldness of others doesn't touch us. Instead, it invites us to look inward. Why do we seek validation in the length or depth of someone's reply? Could it be that we're searching for a sense of belonging, for assurance that our thoughts matter, that we matter? Dismissive body language can sting. You share something personal, a dream or a challenge, and the person you're talking to seems more engrossed in the wallpaper. Crossed arms, wandering eyes, it all creates a sense of distance, leaving you feeling like you're talking to the wind. This is where the beauty of Stoicism shines. Stoicism reminds us that our value isn't defined by external reactions. Short replies, dismissive gestures, these can't diminish our essence. Instead, they become opportunities to practice resilience. We might yearn for rich conversation, but reality doesn't always cooperate. That's okay. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, our own actions and reactions. The next time you encounter a one-word response, take a breath. Smile. This is your chance to practice Stoic acceptance. Release the need for validation. You have the power to choose your reaction. In these moments, we can find a deeper connection to ourselves and appreciate the simple joys of communication. Every interaction, every response, or lack thereof, teaches us something. It's about letting go. Now imagine sharing something close to your heart and the person you're talking to seems oblivious. Dismissive body language is a disheartening dance, especially when we crave genuine connection. But Stoicism offers a different perspective. The Stoics, with their deep understanding of human nature, saw such situations as opportunities for growth. We can't control how others react, but we have complete control over ourselves. Dismissive body language from another person doesn't diminish our worth or the value of what we're sharing. It's simply a piece of information, a glimpse into their current state of mind or emotional capacity. Stoicism teaches us to observe without judgment. Everyone navigates their own complexities. Perhaps the other person is preoccupied, uncomfortable with vulnerability, or simply unaware of their body language's impact. The Stoic approach encourages us to look beyond the surface, to practice empathy and patience, even in the face of perceived indifference. It empowers us to reflect on our own responses. How do we react when our words seem unheard? Do we get defensive, withdraw, or do we take a deep breath and try to understand? Here lies the essence of Stoic resilience, choosing a response that aligns with our values, maintaining our peace, and keeping the door open for meaningful interactions. We detach our emotional well-being from the actions of others. So, the next time you encounter dismissive body language, remember the Stoic wisdom. See it as a chance to practice kindness to yourself and the other person. Their body language is their story, not yours. Your self-worth remains unshaken. Embrace the freedom that comes from focusing on what you can control, your own perceptions and reactions. You can choose to respond with understanding, acknowledging that everyone's engagement level varies. Move forward with your inner peace intact. Remember, in the grand tapestry of human interaction, every thread, every response, teaches us something about ourselves and the art of letting go. In the vast tapestry of human experience, there will be moments of disconnect that, while initially disheartening, can be transformative. Imagine reaching out to bridge a divide, offering openness and honesty, only to feel the chasm widen, the other person pulling away. This is the essence of encountering a significant trust gap. It's like speaking through a glass barrier. Your words are heard, but the warmth, the connection, doesn't quite make it through. Trust is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. Without it, every interaction feels shallow, every word a hollow echo. It's the lifeblood of friendship, love, and even professional bonds. So when faced with a trust gap, it's natural to feel discouraged. The wisdom of Stoicism offers guidance in navigating this challenging terrain. Stoics, with their deep understanding of human interaction, remind us that trust gaps aren't personal failings. They arise from the complex interplay of individual histories, perceptions, and experiences. Like a delicate seed, trust needs specific conditions to flourish. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, the soil on the other side simply isn't fertile. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of accepting what we cannot control. We can strive to be trustworthy, act with integrity, and communicate openly, but the outcome, the closing of the gap, isn't in our hands. This realization frees us from the burden of expectation and the sting of rejection. It allows us to act according to our principles without being attached to the result, embodying the Stoic ideal of equanimity. Furthermore, a trust gap can be a powerful prompt for self-reflection. Are there unconscious barriers we've erected that prevent us from fully engaging with others? Stoicism encourages us to look inward, to question our assumptions and fears, and to cultivate self-awareness. This introspection can lead to personal growth and ultimately stronger relationships. By embracing the Stoic mindset, we learn to navigate the complexities of human interaction with grace and resilience. We understand that trust is a two-way street, requiring patience, time, and sometimes the courage to let go and move forward. In doing so, we remain true to our values, maintaining our inner peace and dignity regardless of external circumstances. So, when faced with a significant trust gap, remember the Stoic teachings. Use this challenge as an opportunity to grow in understanding, both of others and of yourself. Keep your heart open, your intentions clear, and your actions aligned with your principles. Above all, cherish the relationships where trust flows freely, for these are the ones that truly enrich our lives. There will also be times when you find yourself walking on eggshells, carefully measuring your words to avoid sparking irritation. The air feels charged, and the slightest misstep could trigger a volatile reaction. This tension stems from sensing someone's patience wearing thin. Simple conversations become high-wire acts without a safety net. In these moments, the wisdom of Stoicism offers a grounding perspective. It emphasizes the virtue of patience, not just as a practice towards others, but also as an internal cultivation. When faced with someone easily provoked, Stoicism encourages us to focus inward, controlling our own reactions rather than attempting to control the situation or the other person. The Stoic approach to quick-tempered interactions is rooted in understanding and empathy. Perhaps the other person is grappling with unseen struggles that shorten their fuse. Stoicism reminds us that everyone is fighting their own battles, often hidden beneath the surface. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we can approach these situations with calmness and a desire to understand, rather than reacting defensively. This doesn't mean accepting poor treatment, but choosing to respond with dignity and equanimity, qualities highly valued by Stoicism. Encountering someone with a short temper can be an opportunity to practice these Stoic principles. By remaining calm and composed, we can de-escalate the situation and potentially foster a more open and understanding connection. Remember, the goal isn't to change the other person, but to control our own reactions and navigate the interaction with grace and composure. Life throws us many curveballs, and one of the more common frustrations is encountering someone whose patience seems perpetually on the edge. Stoicism, however, offers a powerful lens through which to view these situations, transforming them from annoyances into opportunities for growth. Imagine impatience as a mirror. It reflects back our own potential for frustration, reminding us to cultivate patience within ourselves. By observing someone else's short temper, we can practice responding with understanding, a long view of human nature that embraces both frailty and strength. This Stoic resilience isn't just about weathering the moment, it's about character development. It shapes us into individuals who can navigate the volatile tides of human emotion with a steady hand and a clear mind. So, the next time you encounter someone perpetually on the verge of snapping, remember the Stoic teachings. Use this as an opportunity to hone your patience, empathy, and understanding. Reflect on the power you hold over your own actions and attitudes. By embodying the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, you navigate life's complexities with a calm and steady presence. This approach can even transform the most impatient interaction into a chance for growth and connection. But impatience isn't the only social hurdle we face. We've all encountered situations where interactions feel artificial, like watching a poorly rehearsed play. The smiles seem forced, the laughter misplaced, leaving us questioning the authenticity of the connection. It's an unsettling experience, like a drink that looks refreshing but tastes oddly flat. Stoicism offers a valuable perspective here as well. It encourages us to look beyond the surface and understand that people often resort to artificial manners for a variety of reasons, none of which may be personal. Perhaps they're guarding vulnerabilities, adhering to social expectations, or simply trying to navigate their own discomfort. Stoicism teaches us to respond to such artificiality, not with suspicion or disdain, but with empathy and patience. The Stoic approach to perceived insincerity is to practice understanding. This doesn't mean ignoring your discomfort or pretending everything is fine. It's about recognizing the power of your reactions. You can choose to see the person behind the facade, to acknowledge that their artificiality might be a shield against something they're not ready to confront. Furthermore, Stoicism reminds us to focus on what's within our control. We cannot force others to be genuine, but we can control our own authenticity, our reactions, and how we choose to engage with the world. By consistently embodying honesty and sincerity ourselves, we become a mirror reflecting back the kind of genuine interaction we seek. This doesn't guarantee others will drop their guards, but it ensures we remain true to our values, fostering connections rooted in authenticity. Stoicism also encourages us to consider our expectations. Are we setting ourselves up for disappointment by expecting unguarded authenticity from everyone we meet? Perhaps there's wisdom in adjusting these expectations, understanding that every interaction has its place and pace. Genuine connections grow organically at their own natural rhythm. So, when faced with artificial manners, let's remember the Stoic virtues of wisdom and courage. Wisdom guides us to see beyond the surface, and courage fuels our authenticity and expression. Let these challenges be opportunities to practice empathy, to extend kindness without expecting immediate reciprocity, and to cultivate a sense of inner peace that is unshakable by external circumstances. By embracing these Stoic principles, we transform frustrating situations and artificial interactions into opportunities for personal growth and connection. The constant churn of the external world can be unsettling. You reach out to a friend, a confidant, only to find them perpetually caught up in a whirlwind of commitments, perpetually on the verge of something else. This something else becomes an ever-present barrier, keeping them just out of reach. It's like extending a hand across a seemingly small gap, only to watch it widen with every attempt to bridge the distance. This experience, where someone consistently seems to find reasons to be unavailable, can stir a complex cocktail of emotions. Confusion, frustration, perhaps even a sting of rejection. It feels as though every effort to connect only serves to highlight the vast emptiness between you. In these moments of uncertainty, Stoicism offers a guiding light. This ancient philosophy reminds us that true happiness and peace of mind don't hinge on the actions or inactions of others, but on how we choose to perceive and respond to them. When someone seems to weave a tapestry of excuses to keep us at bay, Stoicism urges us to turn inward. Rather than expending energy trying to decode or change their behavior, focus on your own reactions. The Stoic perspective on this distance isn't one of resignation, but of understanding and acceptance. People's availability, both emotional and physical, is shaped by countless factors: prior commitments, personal struggles, or perhaps their own unique journeys of growth. Just as we are the captains of our own ships, navigating the currents of life with our own set of sails, so too are others. We cannot control the winds of their will, but we can adjust our sails, steering our emotional well-being with wisdom and integrity. Stoicism also encourages us to reflect on the nature of our expectations. When we crave someone's time and presence, are we unwittingly attaching our contentment to variables beyond our control? This philosophy emphasizes the power of detachment, not from people or the richness of human connection, but from the expectation that others must conform to our desires for us to be happy. Encountering someone who seems to find reasons to stay away offers a valuable opportunity to practice the Stoic virtues of self-reliance and independence. It's a chance to cultivate your inner citadel, building a foundation of contentment that is unshakable by external circumstances. This doesn't mean shutting your heart off or ceasing to reach out. It means reaching out from a place of wholeness, knowing that your worth is not diminished by the absence of others. Even when faced with distance, Stoicism encourages continued kindness and openness. We extend the invitation, bridge the gap, without clinging to the outcome. We recognize and respect the autonomy of others to choose their path, just as we choose ours. So when confronted with the challenge of someone who seems to maintain their distance, let us remember the Stoic teachings of acceptance, understanding, and the cultivation of inner peace. Let this be an opportunity for self-growth, for resilience, and for cherishing the connections that truly enrich our lives. By gracefully accepting the natural ebb and flow of human relationships, we embody the essence of Stoicism, finding strength and serenity within, regardless of the spaces that may exist between us and others. Stoicism also encourages us to consider our expectations. Are we setting ourselves up for disappointment by expecting unguarded authenticity from everyone we meet? Perhaps there's wisdom in adjusting these expectations, understanding that every interaction has its place and pace. Genuine connections grow organically at their own natural rhythm. So, when faced with artificial manners, let's remember the Stoic virtues of wisdom and courage. Wisdom guides us to see beyond the surface, and courage fuels our authenticity and expression. Let these challenges be opportunities to practice empathy, to extend kindness without expecting immediate reciprocity, and to cultivate a sense of inner peace that is unshakable by external circumstances. By embracing these Stoic principles, we transform frustrating situations and artificial interactions into opportunities for personal growth and connection. The constant churn of the external world can be unsettling. You reach out to a friend, a confidant, only to find them perpetually caught up in a whirlwind of commitments, perpetually on the verge of something else. This something else becomes an ever-present barrier, keeping them just out of reach. It's like extending a hand across a seemingly small gap, only to watch it widen with every attempt to bridge the distance. This experience, where someone consistently seems to find reasons to be unavailable, can stir a complex cocktail of emotions. Confusion, frustration, perhaps even a sting of rejection. It feels as though every effort to connect only serves to highlight the vast emptiness between you. In these moments of uncertainty, Stoicism offers a guiding light. This ancient philosophy reminds us that true happiness and peace of mind don't hinge on the actions or inactions of others, but on how we choose to perceive and respond to them. When someone seems to weave a tapestry of excuses to keep us at bay, Stoicism urges us to turn inward. Rather than expending energy trying to decode or change their behavior, focus on your own reactions. The Stoic perspective on this distance isn't one of resignation, but of understanding and acceptance. People's availability, both emotional and physical, is shaped by countless factors: prior commitments, personal struggles, or perhaps their own unique journeys of growth. Just as we are the captains of our own ships, navigating the currents of life with our own set of sails, so too are others. We cannot control the winds of their will, but we can adjust our sails, steering our emotional well-being with wisdom and integrity. Stoicism also encourages us to reflect on the nature of our expectations. When we crave someone's time and presence, are we unwittingly attaching our contentment to variables beyond our control? This philosophy emphasizes the power of detachment, not from people or the richness of human connection, but from the expectation that others must conform to our desires for us to be happy. Encountering someone who seems to find reasons to stay away offers a valuable opportunity to practice the Stoic virtues of self-reliance and independence. It's a chance to cultivate your inner citadel, building a foundation of contentment that is unshakable by external circumstances. This doesn't mean shutting your heart off or ceasing to reach out. It means reaching out from a place of wholeness, knowing that your worth is not diminished by the absence of others. Even when faced with distance, Stoicism encourages continued kindness and openness. We extend the invitation, bridge the gap, without clinging to the outcome. We recognize and respect the autonomy of others to choose their path, just as we choose ours. So when confronted with the challenge of someone who seems to maintain their distance, let us remember the Stoic teachings of acceptance, understanding, and the cultivation of inner peace. Let this be an opportunity for self-growth, for resilience, and for cherishing the connections that truly enrich our lives. By gracefully accepting the natural ebb and flow of human relationships, we embody the essence of Stoicism, finding strength and serenity within, regardless of the spaces that may exist between us and others. Listening without genuine interest. We've all experienced it, that feeling of inauthentic listening. The person you're talking to nods at the right moments, but their mind is clearly elsewhere, perhaps occupied by a mental shopping list or a more engaging internal conversation. This lack of genuine interest can be disheartening, leaving us feeling undervalued, and our words like mere background noise. Stoicism offers a gentle but profound response in such situations. It reminds us to anchor our self-esteem not in the reactions of others, but in our own self-respect and the knowledge that we've expressed our truth. Instead of tethering our sense of worth to the attentiveness or inattentiveness of our listeners, Stoicism encourages us to appreciate the act of sharing itself. It's an expression of our authenticity, an offering of ourselves to the world, without attachment to how it's received. When faced with a lack of genuine interest, a Stoic approach involves practicing empathy and understanding. Perhaps the person we're talking to is grappling with their own worries, challenges, or even an internal dialogue. Stoicism teaches us that everyone is on their own journey, often doing the best they can with the tools they have at that moment. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we can choose to respond with calm acceptance rather than bitterness or resentment. This disinterest, after all, is simply another facet of the human experience. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to reflect on our expectations. Are we setting ourselves up for disappointment by expecting undivided attention and genuine interest from every interaction? Instead, Stoicism advises us to focus on our own actions and intentions, ensuring that we listen with the same interest and attentiveness we hope to receive. This isn't about lowering our standards for human connection, but about cultivating inner peace by focusing on what we can control: our behavior, attitudes, and responses. Encountering a lack of genuine interest can also serve as a reminder of the value of selectivity in sharing our thoughts and experiences. Stoicism doesn't suggest we close ourselves off from others, but rather that we choose wisely the confidants with whom we share our deeper selves. It's a call to invest our energy and emotions in relationships built on mutual respect and genuine interest, recognizing that these connections are the ones that truly enrich our lives. In moments where our words seem to fall on deaf ears, let us remember the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, and moderation. Wisdom guides us to recognize what's within our control. Courage empowers us to continue expressing our authentic selves despite the reactions of others. And moderation helps us manage our expectations of others' capacity for listening and engagement. Imagine opening up, sharing a piece of your soul or mind, only to be met with indifference. It's like offering a gift of your innermost thoughts and receiving the dismissive nod, shrug, or a distracted in return. This lack of desire to truly understand you can feel isolating, like speaking into a void where your words echo back devoid of connection. It's a stark reminder of those times when we seek a bridge to mutual understanding, only to find ourselves standing alone. In the face of such indifference, Stoicism offers a beacon of resilience and inner strength. This ancient philosophy teaches us the value of self-sufficiency, not in the sense of isolation, but in finding peace and fulfillment within ourselves, regardless of others' reactions or understanding. Stoicism encourages us to detach our sense of self-worth from the approval or understanding of others, reminding us that the only person we truly need to understand and be understood by is ourselves. A Stoic perspective on encountering indifference is rooted in compassion and empathy, both for ourselves and for the person who seems indifferent. Perhaps they're overwhelmed by their own struggles or lack the emotional bandwidth to engage on a deeper level. Stoicism teaches us to approach such situations with understanding, recognizing that everyone is on their own path and their current state of indifference is not a reflection of our worth or the value of our thoughts. Stoicism ultimately encourages us to focus on the things we can control: our own thoughts, words, and actions. It reminds us that while we can't control the reactions of others, we can control how we choose to respond. By cultivating inner strength, empathy, and selectivity in sharing ourselves, we can navigate these situations with greater resilience and peace of mind. As we share our thoughts and feelings, a question arises: do we have expectations for the response? Stoicism offers a powerful perspective to let go of those expectations. It's about expressing our authentic selves, finding contentment in that expression, independent of external validation. This isn't about lowering standards for meaningful interactions, but about inner fulfillment. Encountering indifference can be a catalyst for growth. It's a chance to practice Stoic virtues like courage and wisdom. Courage to stay true to ourselves and share our truth. Wisdom to recognize relationships that offer the depth and understanding we seek. This teaches us to invest in connections that nurture mutual understanding, fostering an inner circle built on empathy, curiosity, and respect. In moments of misunderstanding or indifference, let's draw on Stoicism. Let's find strength in our purpose, comfort in self-awareness, and resilience in facing indifference without losing ourselves. By embodying Stoic principles, we navigate interactions with grace, knowing our worth is inherent and the quest for understanding starts within. Being excluded can feel like looking in at a party you weren't invited to. The warmth and laughter inside seem distant from your cold reality. This deliberate exclusion can be hurtful, leaving you questioning your place in the group. But Stoicism offers solace. It reminds us that our value and joy aren't contingent on external acceptance. The sting of exclusion is a universal experience. We all know the pang of not being invited, the awkwardness of feeling left out. But what if, instead of letting it spiral into negativity, we could use this experience for growth? Stoicism, a philosophy emphasizing inner strength and virtue, offers a powerful lens for navigating these moments. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what lies within our control, our thoughts, actions, and reactions. We can't dictate how others treat us, who they choose to include, or the invitations we receive. However, we can choose how we respond. Dwelling on exclusion only fuels negativity. Instead, Stoicism invites us to acknowledge the hurt, to understand why it stings. Is it a reflection of our self-worth? Absolutely not. Stoicism emphasizes that our intrinsic value is independent of external validation or fleeting social interactions. This experience of exclusion can be a catalyst for self-reflection. Are we investing in relationships that are truly reciprocal and nourishing, or have we been clinging to connections that leave us feeling depleted? It's a chance to reassess our social circles and prioritize genuine connections that bring us joy and support. Furthermore, Stoicism champions the virtue of independence. It reminds us that while human connection is valuable, our happiness doesn't hinge on the approval or inclusion of others. We have the power to create fulfilling lives for ourselves, brimming with activities that spark joy, fuel our growth, and bring us a sense of accomplishment. This doesn't mean isolating ourselves. It means cultivating inner strength and a sense of self-worth that allows us to find happiness regardless of who's on the guest list. So, the next time we face exclusion, let's use Stoicism as a guide. Let's reflect on the experience, understand why it hurts, and then gently guide ourselves back to a place of peace and self-sufficiency. Every experience of being left out can be a stepping stone on the path to self-reliance. It can lead us closer to discovering the immense wellspring of happiness within ourselves. But Stoicism doesn't stop at personal growth. As we navigate these challenges, let's extend the empathy and understanding we crave to others. Let's choose to be the inclusive force in the world, actively cultivating a circle where kindness and genuine connection are the cornerstones. By embodying this principle, we not only uplift ourselves, but also contribute to a more inclusive and compassionate world for everyone. Your gut feeling indicates trouble. Have you ever felt that flicker of intuition, a subtle nudge from within suggesting something isn't quite right? It's like an internal alarm system, a quiet tremor beneath the surface that grows more insistent the longer it persists. This gut feeling, a visceral response to the unseen and unspoken, can be both a guardian and a guide, alerting us to tread carefully or reconsider the path we're on. It's a premonition that whispers of trouble brewing long before the storm clouds gather, a faint echo from a place beyond conscious thought. However, acknowledging and acting upon this inner voice often requires a delicate balance of wisdom and courage. Especially when everything on the surface appears normal, trusting this quiet nudge can feel counterintuitive. We may find ourselves questioning its validity, hesitant to disrupt the seeming normalcy around us. Here, Stoicism, with its rich tapestry of wisdom on living a virtuous life, provides a sturdy anchor in navigating these turbulent inner waters. This ancient philosophy teaches us the value of listening to our inner self, urging us to trust in the interconnectedness of reason and intuition. But Stoicism doesn't advocate for blind trust. It cautions against being swayed by mere impressions or unfounded fears. Instead, it proposes a reasoned analysis of our instincts before taking action. When your gut feeling indicates trouble, Stoicism encourages a reflective pause. Take a moment to step back and examine the source of this intuition. Is it based on observable facts, subtle cues you've unconsciously picked up on, or is it the echo of past fears and insecurities coloring your perception? By dissecting the root of your intuition, you can make a more informed decision. To act with decisive courage, or to cautiously navigate the situation with a heightened awareness. Stoicism teaches us not to dismiss our instincts entirely, but to interrogate them with the same rigor we would apply to any external advice. This introspection allows us to distinguish between genuine intuition and misplaced anxiety, guiding us toward actions that align with our values and principles. Moreover, Stoicism offers a perspective on how to respond once we've acknowledged our gut feeling. It reminds us that while we cannot control external events, we have complete autonomy over our actions and reactions. If our intuition signals a misalignment with our core values or warns us of potential harm, we have the power and the responsibility to choose a course of action that safeguards our well-being and integrity. This process of engaging with our gut feelings also encourages the development of self-trust. By listening to and acting upon our instincts, we reinforce our confidence in our ability to navigate complex situations. Stoicism reinforces this trust, not as a blind faith in infallibility, but as a recognition of our capacity to reason, learn, and grow from every experience. Embracing our gut feelings as a source of wisdom then becomes an exercise in Stoic virtue. It requires the courage to face uncomfortable truths, the temperance to react with moderation rather than impulsivity, and the wisdom to discern the best path forward. It challenges us to maintain our composure and resilience, even when our instincts lead us into uncharted waters. So, when your gut feeling indicates trouble, let the teachings of Stoicism guide you. Use this moment as an opportunity to connect deeply with your inner wisdom, to analyze your instincts with clarity and reason, and to move forward with actions that reflect your highest self. Trusting in your intuition, tempered by the principles of Stoicism, allows you to navigate life's uncertainties with confidence. You'll know your inner compass is aligned with the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, guiding you through the ebb and flow of life. Remember, the wisdom we carry within lights our way through the darkest nights and guides us back to calm waters. The journey isn't about avoiding the storm, but learning to sail in any weather. Thank you for joining us on this voyage at the Stoic Journal, where each step we take is a step toward mastering the art of living. If this journey speaks to you, consider exploring more paths to wisdom. Together, let's continue to build a life not just endured, but truly lived. Until next time, carry forward the torch of Stoic wisdom, illuminating the path not only for yourself, but for those